Hi there and welcome to my channel. Good to see you here. I hope you're having a great day so far. Today I will present you a story that fits perfectly into this cold, dark, a bit spooky time of the year, because I'm going to be talking about The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So if you're into ghost stories and urban fantasy, you have to stay tuned. The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo is the first volume of an urban fantasy series. It was published 2019 by Macmillan and is for readers from 14 years and older. It has 448 pages and the reading time is approximately 10 hours. If you like this book, you also might like Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This was a brief overview of the facts. Now I would like to introduce you to the author. Leigh Bardugo was born 1975 in April, which makes her an Aries, just in case you're interested, in Jerusalem in Israel, and grew up in Los Angeles, where she still lives, I guess. She writes mainly fantasy novels, but also short stories. She studied English at Yale University, where this story is set. Before she came to writing, she worked in various jobs, like as a journalist or as a makeup artist and others. The best-selling Grisha trilogy about the sun warrior Alina, it's a battle good versus evil, helped her to break through. Some might know this book from the Netflix series. It's called Shadow and Bone. I watched it and binged it through. I think it's a great series, so watch it if you have the chance to.
Is this true? Can you summon light?
She wrote also the two duologies, Six of Crows and King of Scars, and Wonder Woman, Warrior of the Amazons. Her books are so successful that they have been translated into over 20 languages and sold millions of copies. But Leigh Bardugo is not only a writer, she's also a singer in the indie rock band Captain Automatic. And if you want to check it out, I put the link down below. Yeah, that's to the author. Now let's move on to the story. We follow Alex Stern. Alex Stern, her name is actually Galaxy, and I love this name. It's wonderful, Galaxy. We follow her as she studies at Yale. She is a member of the freshman class and very unlike to the other students because she dropped out of school, she was in the drug milieu, and she has no outstanding academical skills to show either. Now the question is how she ended up there at this elite university. You see, Alex is very special. She can see ghosts, not only in grey like they are called in the Ninth House in the book. She can see them in color since she was a small child. She grew up in Los Angeles in the hinterlands and was raised by a hippie mom, and because she could see those ghosts and for her it was a normal thing, she told her friends and they thought, okay. Nobody believed her because nobody can see ghosts. Not that I know, maybe there are some people out there who can see ghosts, but yeah, nobody believed her. They all thought she's a bit crazy. That's how she became more and more of an outsider and started experimenting with drugs to silence those sightings. Then she dropped out of school and ended up in the drug milieu. She then lived with her boyfriend Lan. He was a small-time dealer, and her best friend Haley in an apartment, until one day Haley, Lan and two others were found murdered in the apartment, and Alex woke up in a hospital bed. There she was recruited by House Lethe because she can see those ghosts. House Lethe is one of 9 old, secretive and occult fraternities at Yale University. 8 of them have to do with magic, and the 9th house, this is where Alex is recruited to, House Lethe. They oversee the other 8 sororities that they don't abuse the magic. And ghosts, they are called Greys, are a focal point of those occult fraternities. She is offered a full scholarship to Yale in exchange for her skills and the promise to keep silent about her involvement in those secret sororities. And in House Lethe, Alex comes under the wing of Daniel Arlington. Everyone calls him Darlington, and he becomes her mentor. Alex is so happy because for the first time in her life she meets people like Darlington who can also see ghosts. She's no longer the outsider, the strange person, the freak. Alex, together with the reader, is introduced to the different magical houses and their rituals. For example, we have Skull and Bones. They do fortune telling and divination. Then we have Scroll and Key. They have the portal magic and astral and ethereal projection. We have Book and Snake. They do necromancy and bone conjuring. We have Wolf's Head, Therianthropy, which means they can become animals. I think this is a good ability for spies. We have the manuscripts. They practice the magic of glamour and illusion. This is a magic I would like to have too. But the next one isn't that bad either. They are called Aurelian. They do word binding and divination with language. Then we have St. Elmo. They practice elemental magic like storm conjuring. Then we have the 9th house. I'm sure I forgot one. Then we have the 9th house, House Lethe. Like I said, no magic. They are the magical police and oversee the others. As we move on in the story, Darlington disappears and the girl is found murdered on the campus. It's assumed that one of these 9 houses have an involvement in this murder. House Lethe starts to investigate in the magical houses. Of course, the normal police investigates too. There's a detective. Alex is more and more involved in the investigation and gets attacked by ghosts because someone wants her out of the way, and Alex forms a bond with a ghost who helps her, but in exchange he wants Alex to help him solve the murder of his fiancée back in the late 19th century. That's a lot of things Alex has to deal with. It's quite a lot, and that's everything I will tell you about the story. Now I would like to talk about the impression I got. The story is told in the personal form, and yet you get so close to the main character as some other authors don't even manage in the first person perspective. We see the events happening not only through Alex Stern's point of view, but also through Darlington's perspective, which makes the story very lively. But we're also switching between the past, it's last autumn, and the present time, it's winter, and following these timelines. We go even further into the past of both characters, Alex and Darlington, through flashbacks, which flow into the narrative as thoughts, and so we get to learn them both really well. I like the atmospheric storytelling of Leigh Bardugo. Everything is very well described and drawn out, and that pulls you into this campus feeling. It lets you dive into this alternate reality with those magical fraternities. And through the setting of the story on this university campus, it gave this fantasy story a more realistic touch, if you can say so. I found it's a good mix. We have two genres. We have like the urban fantasy and the ghost story. Like this, I think is very unique. And we have those murder cases, and we have even a cold case. So there's always something going on. It's never boring. I liked that. So that's to the things I liked. Then let's move on to the things I didn't like so much. On one hand, I like that we have these different perspectives and timelines, but here we have like two cold cases, one murder case. We have the time switches and the different perspectives, and this confused me at times. It made the story very fast-paced, but sometimes you get drawn out of the flow. I would have preferred not those time switches. I think the story could have been told in a linear way. We start last autumn and go through to the present this winter without those switches. They were a bit too much, and it made also the development of the character Alex very hard. At first she was this shy, quirky, freaky girl. Then this winter she came across quite bossy. Then Leigh Bardugo weaves into the story serious topics like drugs and SA, which I find good, but I think especially the SA should have been handled with more care and not move on with the story so fast. And I would have liked if there had been more focus on the magical part, the fantasy part of the story, because I thought here the main focus was the murder case and solving these murder cases. Yeah, this to my critique. Now I would like to give you the conclusion. The ninth house is set in the young adult section, but I think it's for all adults and especially for male readers because of the writing style. It's a fast-paced story that involves occult rituals, ghosts, and a murder case and two cold cases. It touches serious topics. What do you want more? So it's a book for all lovers of fantasy books, but also for readers of crime thrillers. I personally liked the book and I will read the next volume for sure. Here we are again. Thank you for taking the time to be in here with me. I really appreciate it. And if you like my content, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss another video. I wish you all the best. See you next time. Bye.